Hello, 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 beloveds. Reverend Kirstin Hanson here. Welcome to our weekly service, Heart of Magdalene, Soul of Sophia. This. I was working on Morning of the Dove, and which is where we have our daily devotional, our time where we come into the Holy Presence and really just started. I got choked up because this path for women in spiritual dominion has been a long time coming where the feminine face of God is recognized and holds a place, not just recognized, but is really standing at the forefront and leading the visions of the future. So the Heart of Magdalene and the Soul of Sophia weekly service, this is real for me. This is passionate for me. It is moving through me as a living embodiment of the Spirit to support women and men and they as the feminine moves into her power. So welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And I can feel it in my bones. I could feel it in my bones. It's like welling up through me. It's interesting. When I'm giving sermons or I'm on stage or I'm giving prayer or even when I'm doing this work, when I am being worked on by the Spirit, and it just sometimes it moves me. It moves me to tears. I can't help but cry. And I'm so excited that I am willing and able to share the living presence as I know it through me. So welcome. Sancta Luma was born out of a need to have something different. Sancta Luma in Latin means holy light. It just happened. We put those two words together. They're in non-existence. We put those two words together. And it's born out of the words and the wisdom of Holy Wisdom herself. Now, in every theology and in studies, there is a feminine face. Now, many theologies and many patriarchal dominions are seeking to ensure that we don't step forward and we don't put ourselves back in, insert ourselves back into the truth. But there is no divine presence here on earth that doesn't recognize itself as a male and female. We are, even in animals, right? Like in animal spirits, if you follow animism, right? There is a need for the power and the presence of the feminine face of God to be represented. And we're making that splash. We're making that splash. And I am a huge advocate for this concept of spiritual reclamation, where we write our own story into the codexes of the stars. Because we will be ancestors one day, ladies. We will be ancestors one day. And I am committed to writing the story of the feminine in her story, in our voice, in representation of how we tell it for the futures to come, just as our grandmothers and their mothers and their mothers have done. This is where, during our time in the Heart of Magdalene, we restore the feminine face of God. So now this is a traditional service And I'm going to explain a little bit about that. This is a traditional service because the truth is, I need spiritual food. I need spiritual fortification. I need tradition, which evolves for me. It continues to evolve. I've been doing this for years and years and years. The study of the spiritual, since as long as I can remember. And my practices, while they evolve, I have certain structures that remain the same. And one of them is I have devotional practices. But I love prayer. I love prayer because it's my singing my voice, right? It's an incantation. I am singing my voice in love with the divine. And I am using my words to move the forces that are out there and move the forces that are in here into position for the Most High. So join me. Just join me as we open up this service. This is a service. This is my church. This is my temple. This is a moment. Heart of Magdalene, soul of Sophia is a place to come in and get your soul nourished. It is the feminine face of God telling our story in honoring. And it is a weekly service for women, by women, held by women, taught through wisdom. Spiritual reparation. So let's go into this prayer together. Let's go into this prayer together. I invite you. I invite you to settle into yourself, to take a breath, to have a moment, to experience something within you. And so in this holy moment, this instant, this holy instant, we acknowledge the gathering. We acknowledge the removal of time and space. We acknowledge that right here, right now, the deep gratitude, the wellspring of gratitude that moves through us. We stand in awe at the gratitude that moves through us. We stand in awe at this recognition of the beauty and the presence. We stand in awe at the power and the presence of her beauty, our beauty, your beauty, my beauty, the earth's beauty, the universe's beauty, and we recognize all of its qualities that are reflective and revealed through us, as us, by us. We know that in this oneness, in this divine union, this harmonious divine union born of pure love, there is an emancipation of self, the old limited self that is born into the highest self of who we truly are, the liberated state. The liberated state, the truth. We have a realization of our oneness with this holy presence, this divine presence. And we recognize in this realization the truth of who we are. And so we give thanks and we ask that the words spoken here today are moved away. We are moved away. We are moved away and out of self so that the words can come through. The words can come through in this moment where we can have a transformation. And we ask that Kirstin be placed outside of herself so that the Spirit may use her for the highest and best, only the highest and best, the living light of God. And so we breathe and we give thanks. Amen. Oh, Ashe. Shalom. Namaste. And so we begin our service. And today, our topic is She Rose, the liberated path, which has been my theme all week in Morning of the Dove. Oh, and I have to tell you, this is a personal story. And we're doing a class on this. It's a 4-part series. It begins October 22nd. We're doing a class on this. And I bring this up because it is a personal account of how I got up. See, every woman who has walked this path on this living earth understands from the depths of her bones what it means to be subjugated, what it means to be second class, what it means to have to work harder and better, what it means to have to placate and to play the game just to get ahead. We also know what it means to have full dominion over ourselves. We know what it means as women to stand so tall, so bright, and to shine that it may bear his fists. If they weren't scared, they wouldn't be seeking to take away our rights. That tells you how powerful we really are in the feminine as a female. So this liberated path is the moment where you recognize that you stood up anyway, despite it, in spite of. It's the moment when you recognize and hold true within you what it actually took for you to stand. Oof, when you feel those shackles come off and you realize there is nothing they can do that can take you from you. That moment, that is spiritual liberation. Can you recall a moment where you know so deep inside of your bones that no matter what they do to you, they can't break you because they've already broken you 100 times over? There is not one more thing they could do because you were broken 100 times over. And in that, you recognize your unbreakableness. Do you understand what I mean by that? In the depths of your despair, they could not break you. And that is the fire by which you were resurrected in your Christedness, in your Buddha nature. See, a resurrection is that moment where you go anyway. It is that moment where they can have the whole of you because they can't touch any part of you. Now, this is not denying the conditions in the state that women have to walk through. And for those who get out, it is so important that we remember that what is ours to do is to help pull the rest of them out. Because until we are all free, none of us are free. That is the truth of interconnectedness. So in this liberated path, this moment when you rise and you are returned to the altar within to speak and to be that which has long been silenced. There's a moment where you recognize your spiritual fortitude. That place where your perseverance, when you got up anyway. I always say, girl, I got up out the mud. I got up out the mud where you got up anyway. The spiritual fortitude, that grit that is inside of you. There's a moment where you understand that spiritual fortitude is you had faith even when you didn't have faith. Can you relate to that? Like you felt so dark, so broken, and in despair, or small, or ugly, or fat, or not wanted, or not chosen, or overlooked, not good enough. Like all of it, all of it, all of it, all of it, whatever your thing is, right? Whatever it is. What is trying to come through? I lost my spot and I'm trying to see what Spirit wants me to say. That spiritual fortitude, right? That faith when you think you have no faith. If you got up, if you changed your thinking, if you did something good for yourself, if you helped somebody else, despite it all, that is faith in the dark. See, in God's world, God not being male or female, God being in essence, we are always returned to the truth of who we are, even when we can't see it. There are countless stories of this over and over. So here in Sancta Luma, the Church of Holy Wisdom, we talk about this holy light, the living presence of love of God, this light. And that is what supports us in our fortitude, our devotional practices that continue to amplify and strengthen our belief and our connection, as if it's our only breath to take. That is liberation. That moves us into that calm, peaceful state. Because liberation has velocity, it has power. It's a knowingness, but it is so calm, and it is so real, and it is so pure, and it is so true that you, when you are at one with this spiritual liberated state, when you are one with, when you experience, when you have a spiritual realization of oneness, that is where liberation takes place. And that peace and that calmness is the breeding ground for this spiritual fortitude, this muscle, these seeds that you are planting can take root. And it is in this calmness that she rises and she is born. It is in this. And it is in this calmness and this peacefulness that the truth of you is revealed. And you begin to recognize yourself for the first time. It's a moment where you're unrecognizable to you. That's such a brilliant place. You are unrecognizable to you. And you have this experience of this joy-filled liberation. This joy-filled liberation where everything around you glitters. Every feeling in you, every body part in you, every aspect of you glitters. And you sing from the rooftop the truth of who you are. This is a liberated internal state. See, the heart of Magdalene, she loved God. She loved God. And she was devoted to her own internal resurrection, and she did her work. The soul of Sophia is the echo from the beginning of time until the end of time that takes all of this knowledge and distills it into wisdom. And wisdom is quiet. Wisdom is quiet. It is found in this calmness. And it whispers to us. It's interesting. I'm seeing the angel wings wrap around right now. I was wondering what they were. I was like, what is that? And it's the angel wings. It's the place where the divine and the holy is found within us. That is a liberated states, beloved. Sorry, I'm seeing the angel wings and I'm like, whew. Like I'm doing this series on the halls of angels. They've taken me to the halls of angels, and the angels, they dance with me all the time because it's like a remembrance of the holy presence. The remembrance of the holy presence is the truth of you. It's where you remember the divinity. I'm sorry, I'm crying. It's so tender. Where you remember the divinity within you. In the feminine, in her risen self, when she remembers her, it's like the light just illumes the world. It will wrap around the world. That's what they're showing me right now. Like her love, your love, my love, our love will wrap around the world, and our children will know peace like we don't know. And it's so important to find this liberated path because our world depends on it. Our children and our children's children and our children's children, our world depends on it. Oh, I'm sorry. It has me all, these angels, they're trying to touch our hearts so we remember that liberation is holy. It's part of the promise. We're born with it. We are it. And people like to hurt people. And they're really working through us so that doesn't happen anymore. Because once the light comes through us and we start lighting up the world with our love, the world can't help but be wrapped in light. And that's liberation. Woo. It's walking together in this loving presence as creation and God's infinite love. And it's wanting you, beloveds, it's wanting you to find it within you. And when you find it within you, please share it with others. Because we have work to do, and our work is to love. Our work is to love and to share the light and let this world have its light back. Because it's a beautiful world being clouded by injustice and inhumanity and in environmentalism. Like, and the angels are here to open your heart. Did not expect this turn of events, so excuse me. I got used in a good way. So, beloveds, our work, our voices, our wisdom, our theology, our rightful place in the divine conversation is right here, right now. We are the new epoch of ministry. Turning the tables is the women claiming their space in the spiritual environments. And I don't care what your belief is. You could be into Reiki. You could be into energy medicine. You could be into shamanism. You can be into Christianity. You can be into Judaism. You can be into Islam. You could be into Buddhism, whatever, Hinduism, whatever it is you believe. You are still being called because the spiritual truths require her face restored to the face of it. It doesn't matter what you believe. It matters that you believe. And that you come to know the loving, living presence of God revealed through you. And you become the living light on this earth by which the new world is forged. Oof. So, beloveds, I end it here. And I call these words in this service so good, so very, very good. And I know that together we will weave a new world of love where our children and our children's children and our children's children's children do not experience what we experience. They experience love. They experience community. They experience light. There is no poverty. There is no war. There's no killing. There's no hurting each other. There is no separation because of the color of the skin or beliefs. That is not God's world. That is the living hell of man's mind. God's world is so beautiful. Did not see this coming, people. And so, beloveds, I end here and bid you adieu. And thank you for joining us. Until next week.